Hello, welcome back to Allison Rushin Crafts. Today I'm going to be playing around with a few ideas. I did this little sketch the other day of something, come up with an idea and just quickly scribbled this down. So I'm going to be using the Life is Beautiful set. As soon as I saw this, this idea came into my head of what I could do with this gorgeous tree. So I'm going to use the Life is Beautiful set. I'm going to couple it up with the Snowman Season bundle, which is in the main catalogue. This is from the new, sorry, the Life is Beautiful is actually from the new August to December mini catalogue, and the Snowman Season is from the annual catalogue, and it was a carryover from last year. So you get the Snowman Season, and then they also did the Snowman Builder Punch. I don't know if you can see that with the reflection, sorry. So I'm going to be using those. I've got a range of blends to use. I'm using light balmy blue, light pumpkin pie, light grey granite and light rococo rose. So I'm going sort of for a fairly soft sort of look. Using Highland Heather, stamp pad and balmy blue. Wink of Stella, because it's Christmas. Who doesn't love something on a Christmas card? Memento. And then just some other little tools. Right, so let's get going. I'm going to be doing two different cards today. The ideas I've got in my head. I haven't actually completed one of them yet. So I'm going to see how it goes. But I've got two Whisper White card blanks. Sorry, brain isn't working today. One I've cut A4 sheet in half along the long edge and then just folded it in the centre. And the other one is from a piece that I'd cut along the short edge long ways, and then again just folded it in half. So two different folds. Got a couple of little pieces of colour cardstock, balmy blue and Highland Heather, and both of these are 14.4 by 10 centimetres. So they're going to couple up on those shortly. Right, let's get started. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus for the first part of the project, and I'm going to try and show you a way of multiple stamping the image to cut out the Builder Snowman, so that you don't have to punch it and then try and line it up and stamp it. So all I've done is I've just taken a piece of cardstock. Now I used black or a dark piece because when you're putting your when you're lining it up in here, it just seems easier against this background, unless you've got a black or dark black, can't speak, a dark background, sorry, on here, and then obviously you can cut this in a light coloured card. It just makes it easier when you're trying to line up. That was all I found anyway, personally. This piece is 14.9 by 9.5, and if you cut your template the same size that you're going to use for cutting out of your and stamping on your Whisper White, then you're going to get two out per piece. So you can just pop that. Oh, first off, all I did was obviously lined it up, took 1/2 of the sheet there, and then I just cleanly punched it out. Okay, and that's it. That's all you're doing at this stage with that. Then we're going to pop him on our Stamparatus, and then taking our Stamparatus, all I've done, as you can see, is line up the images inside this. Now I haven't worried about the arms. I like solid coloured arms. There is a stamp that goes with that, so again you could do follow exactly the same as I'm doing now, but I only want the body and the hat. So literally, let me just take these off of here, see if I can get them lined up as well. You're just gonna pop that in there now, and I might need to bring this down a bit closer because you do need to be over it to see where the lineup's going to be. Can't really see very well now because there we go, and I've already done the hat, so I'm just going to pop that like that and hope I've got it in the right place. It's a bit difficult on camera, obviously you can take a little bit more time over it. And then you're just going to lift it up, take your template away, you don't need that now. Pop in your first piece of Whisper White. I'm going to use Memento. Let me bring that back in so you can see it. I'm just going to use Memento because I'm going to use my blends on it. So ink it up, stamp it down, a couple of seconds, give it a nice good impression, and there we go. And then I'm just going to turn it around and do the same. So even though I've got a big blob of, I don't know how I did that, blob of Memento on there. Turn it around. Is it going to miss? Oh, might just get away with that. And ink him up. There we go. Right. I'm just going to take that plate out and pop that over there. Come back to that later. Now, fingers crossed, if I've lined it up okay on camera, you should then just be able to put your, pop it in there. Looks pretty good to me. And then punch around. And obviously if you want to, you can colour these before punching, which I would normally do, but that's just to show you. And you've got two pieces out of there and lined up, so you can keep this template then if you do, especially with Christmas cards, because you tend to do a lot of multiples of the same thing. So this would be really handy. Once you've got it set up, you can just stamp punch. So let's pop him out of the way now, and we're going to put these little chaps up there. I've lost one of their noses, haven't I? That's okay, I only need one at the moment. Shell, if you see it. And the little arms. Right, oh, while I'm there, I do actually need a couple of arms. So I'm just going to put a bit of black cardstock in and punch a couple of arms out. And there we go. Or I could have coloured in the Whisper White arms that I had. Would have been simple as well. Right, let's tidy that up a little bit. Let's pop those out the way. Okay, now I'm going to put those aside just for a short while, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. I want to do the tree, and for some reason I haven't cut my Whisper White base. Hang on a minute. I was all prepared then. Good for me. Wrestle with me. Let me trim her out. Right, I'm going to make, as I'm making two cards, I'm going to do two of these. So I want them to be 13.9 by 9.5. We've got a nice little bit left there then for a sentiment later. over there. Put that one out of the way. Stamparatus. All fingers and thumbs today. Right, bringing my Stamparatus back in. I'm going to put my piece of Whisper White up in the far corner, and I've already lined up the tree where I want it to stamp. So as you can see, it's going to come down there on my image. Again, I'm going to use Memento. Ink him up well. This is one of those distinctive stamps, so it does have quite a lot of detail in it, and will show some gradient and a bit of pattern, so don't flood it too much. My Memento's getting a little dry, I need to re-ink it, so I've added a bit extra there. Right, pop it down, give it a bit of a squeeze, a few seconds, make sure it's all inked properly, and off. And I'm going to leave that in there because obviously we're going to be doing multiple stamping. The cloth here somewhere. Wipe that off. Put them up to one side. Oops, there we go. Right, I'm going to bring in my stamp. This is just a stamping mat. All I've done is just covered it in a bit of copy of paper, just so it doesn't stain and mark the mat, and then I can just change the paper whenever I need to. Right, first off let's ground this tree, because at the moment he's floating in the air, isn't he? So taking the balmy blue and this stamp, there's a right way up and a wrong way up. That's good. Right, I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it too bright, and going to go in around, up and around the base of the tree like that. And then I'm going to put that away from that. That's fine. Memento. This is the little bird house, and I want blackbirds on there. Stamp him down nice and straight, lovely. Just gives me an idea of everything's got to be. Right, let's get back in with the balmy blue, and I'm going to ink it up, and then we want 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's stick another one over there. About 5 of those in the balmy blue, and that's our strongest colour. Now with the Highland Heather, I'm going to do the same thing. Let me just clean off balmy blue off of that. I want to go in with the Highland Heather, sorry, and I'm going to stamp it off and back on, because I don't want this to be the main colour, but I do want it to feature and give it a little bit more depth and just make the tree look a little bit fuller. And then slightly, let's go that way, and just a little bit down here. Yeah, I think that's enough. And just gives us a little bit of colour. Oh, while we've got them open as well, see if that strip's big enough. I've got a tiny little strip of Whisper White here, I'm going to ink it up and just stamp out our little birdhouse. What am I looking for? Oh, there it is. While I'm doing this, I also want one. Oh, the card in balmy blue. Oh, sorry. Dropping the camera again. And I'm going to have a little balmy blue one just there. Right, put those both aside for a minute. And let's have a look at our snowman. Right, put that to one side as well. Okay, I think so. We've got two little houses for the two different cards we're going to do. We need hats, we need arms. One, two little arms. And I'm just going to fussy cut out this little tree house. Birdhouse. Quiet when I'm concentrating. Somebody else do that. Fussy cut in silence. Well. Right. There we go. And we're going to layer him up in a minute on there. Okay, let's do the other one while we're here. Let me tidy up a little bit. And we're leaving just a tiny little white border all around as well. Fiddly. These scissors, or snips as we call them, are amazing. They cut right up to the, unlike some scissors, they cut right up to the very tip. They're very sharp. They really are the best scissors I've ever used for something like this. There we go. Right, that's another one for later, so let's leave him up there for a minute. Let's get rid of this before we confuse it with other bits. Okay, next let's do something with our snowman. Our snowman has some shading on him here, so it's always good to follow the shading that's already on the item. And as he's going to be, I'm going to put him around about here, so as he's under the tree, he's going to be shadowed there anyway on that side, which is absolutely perfect. And the way to make, believe it or not, to make white look whiter is to actually add a contrasting dark around the edge. So I'm just using the light grey granite just for a thin line of shadowing along here of what's already there. Just going just a little bit proud of it, and then round. There we go, that's all it needs. We're going to use the light pumpkin pie. Keep this sort of fairly nice and soft to pop on his nose. He's going to go on there in a minute. And then the hat, we're going to have Rococo, light Rococo rose this is. This is where you see, realise it would have been easier to cut this out first, colour this first, sorry. Oh. And then colour there. Oh, berries. I didn't think of that. Berries and okay, let's go for, I think we're going to have petal pink berries. Don't want anything too deep and bright. And then I'm going to use, I'll start with the light mint macaron for the leaves and see if that's enough. Perfect. Right, I think that's pretty much all our colouring done. So we need to ground him, but I'm not sure I want to use the same as that. I've just noticed I've got this black mark there. It's annoying me, so I'm going to take my mono sand eraser and just rub that away. There we go. A little bit just there as well. Perfect. Okay, let's get assembling. Dimensionals. So I'm going to pop the little birdhouse up on these dimensionals. And a couple of small ones for him will do. That's probably too much. And one normal dimension will probably have done this. It's probably a little bit overkill, but never mind. Okay, give it a little bit of box, a little bit dimension. Now I'm thinking, I really like the ground on this stamp. So the area, I don't know if you can see on here. So I've just had a thought, I might try masking that off and using that. So I just need to mask it off there because I want the tree. And a tiny bit more there. Just so I don't get any more on. That looks about right. That's a little bit high there. Okay, I should be able to rub that away. Right, then all I'm going to do is ink that up and remove our mask carefully, hopefully. Oops, get all that inky away, get covered in it. Work out where I want it roughly. There we go. Then we're going to sit him on there. Right, let's pop him up on some dimensionals. Line him up roughly where we want him, just covering that a little bit. There we go. He could have been a little bit higher, couldn't he? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the balmy blue and I'm just going to ground that a little bit more. But again, adding where the shading already is, just a light touch of balmy blue. Not covering all the white, but just enough to tie it all in. Okay, now we need to get his arms. Put them somewhere in there. A bit of Tombow. And this one. I never really got to play with this last year. I bought it and it pretty much went unused. Right, now the hat. Pleased to be able to get it out this year and use it a bit more. Right, I'm going to put this to the top of there because I want to. Is that enough? Sort of wedge it in there, I think so. There we go. Right, there's the Winker Stella gone. Right, no Christmas card would be complete without a little bit of sparkle with it. So I'm going to working. Add it to little Mr. Frosty just here. And because we used the black, there's quite a bit coming out there. It's very glittery, super glittery snowman now. And I'm going to add just a little bit of frosty glitter on the bird. There we go, and add a little bit of the Winker Stella to frost around the bottom of the tree, and these little bits down here. Right, move all that out of the way. Let's bring in our cards, and we're going to mount that. I'm going to go with the Highland Heather on the Highland Heather box there. I think if you actually got a production line of these going, had quite a few of these actually, really wouldn't take very long. Make very cute Christmas cards. I like these alternate colours as well for Christmas now, instead of just the traditional reds and greens. I really, really love these sort of colours. Let's mount that up. Straight onto there. Just lined up. There we go. That's our first one, using the punch. Okay, now I'm going to do one without the punch. Very similar. So I need to bring in a Stamparatus again. So we're going to stamp up the tray at this time. I'm just going to clean. Oh, let's move that away from it while I clean it. I'm going to clean the tree. And we're going to use this little snowman this time. Both on the Stamparatus. So put him in. And I'm going to work out roughly where I want him to go. Turn this around straight. I'd have got him straight, wouldn't it? Yeah, think about that. Right, pop him. Okay, and again I'm going to ink him all up in the Memento, making sure it's all covered. To the corner, and push it down. Doesn't have to be too hard, but just leave it there for a little bit, just helps it soak in the ink. Just a little bit more. Oh, and there, perfect reason for using the Stamparatus. I've missed all his body in the middle. Ta-da! That's a perfect example of why I use the Stamparatus, because I did miss all of that. Right, let's move that out the way as well. And bring him back in. Oh, I've got very inky today. What's going on? I've got ink on the bottom of here now. But again, the sand razor is perfect. No rub. That must have been on the window of the door window of the Stamparatus. Helps you keep things clean. Okay. So where's our little house gone? Here he is. A little bird box, bird house. Ink him up. Line him up about there. That's lovely, so cute, those little birds flying around. Right, and same again. We're going to stamp in the balmy blue. That's the strong. I'm using the balmy blue as the strong colour because I think it's just gives that a little bit more of a sort of frosty feel to it. And then we'll come back in with stamped off Highland Heather. that's enough on there. Cleaned off quickly. Right, what haven't we done? Oh, we haven't grounded our tree this time, have we? Let's get him done. So again, balmy blue, stamp it off and ground him. Clean him up. Then with this one, we've got a little balmy blue birdhouse to go on in a little bit. So back with our same colours again. It was the light granite grey, just to bring in that little bit of shadow, so not much. And this particular card is more along, if you didn't do this, it would just be simple stamping, one layer all apart from the little house. So you've got the choice of using blends, but if you haven't got blends, the right markers will do the trick as well. So let's ground in before I've got balmy blue. This is the light balmy blue again, just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to have balmy blue on his hat and scarf. These are just such cute character things. And also there is a new snowman set coming, I believe. I'm sure I've seen it in the new catalogue. So if you didn't want this set that's in the main catalogue, there is going to be another one. Pretty little Rococo rose. So simple, quick and easy, and you can do these very, very simply on multiple stamping. I just need to take the edge off of it a little bit. That's better. Right, let's stick a dimension on the back of him. Is that going to be too big? Yes. Need the little one. I was right in the first place with the first one. It does need the little one. Oh, fluffy dog hair keeps getting in here. I've got a dog and a cat. Oh, and the hairs. Somebody who can't abide hairs everywhere, I end up with one of the hairiest dogs ever. Got a collie husky cross breed. She's got a massive tail like a broom, collects everything up in it, just wags it. If she's not collecting something up, she's knocking something over with it. And then an old lazy cat who's nearly 15 and now likes her cuddles, covering me in hairs. But hey, all part of being a pet owner, I suppose. Right, let's pop that back over the top of there. Like that, and then we're going to take up one Costello, because of course every snowman needs to glisten. And we're just going to go over his little face and his body. And again, I'm just going to put it on the a little bit down on the ground down here, and the birdhouse. Right, bring in our layers. So we're going to go on the balmy blue, so we've got the balmy blue house on the balmy blue background. Glue it up. These would be great for posting as well because they're pretty much flat. You don't have to put the birdhouse up on dimensionals. But I think even with the dimensionals, I think it still goes through as a normal through normal post. I don't think it's I don't think it goes to large letter, so I think you can still do first class, normal, second class with this. And then layer it up. Straighten him up. Tidy up a little bit. Get that out of the way. That's better. Clean the surface. There we go. So there's that one in the balmy blue. Let's bring back in the one in the Highland Heather. Aren't they cute? There we go. How cool are they? And how quick and simple. And of course you could add on, you could go on and put the crystal effects down here if you wanted to. Add anything else. Lovely. Okay, thank you for watching. If there was any of the items that you want to purchase that you've seen me using today, just pop along. I'll put all the links in the bottom of the video or on my blog, so you can just access straight to those and it will go straight to my shop. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Still can't speak today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Okay, so after all that filming, I got right to the end, decided to take the photographs to pop on with the video like I always do, and realised in screenshot that I hadn't actually added any sentiments to my cards that I wanted to put on. So just using the snowman season, I used the Let It Snow and the Merry Christmas and just added them like that to both of the cards, so they got some matching. And I think now we can call them done. Thank you for watching again. Bye.